Imagine commanding the defense of Nazi Europe. You have millions of soldiers, thousands of bunkers, massive coastal fortifications, the most powerful army on Earth. Then the biggest invasion in history arrives, and you're asleep. Even worse, one of your best commanders isn't even on the battlefield. He's at home giving his wife a birthday present. That sounds like a joke. It wasn't. On June 6, 1944, 156,000 Allied troops crossed the English Channel and landed in Normandy. By the end of the day, they had established a foothold in France. 11 months later, Nazi Germany was finished. But D-Day wasn't won by numbers alone. It was won by deception, intelligence, and a series of mistakes Germany never recovered from. These are 10 D-Day secrets that helped change the course of World War II. Number 10. The BBC's strange request. 2 years before D-Day, the BBC made an unusual appeal. Listeners were asked to send photographs and postcards of European coastlines, from Norway to the Pyrenees. Most people thought they were helping a harmless project. They weren't. The photographs went to British military planners. Millions arrived. Every beach, every harbor, every cliff, every seawall. The images were combined with aerial reconnaissance and intelligence from the French resistance. Together, they helped planners identify the best landing areas in occupied Europe. Eventually, one region stood out: Normandy. The invasion beaches were partly selected using photographs taken by ordinary civilians. Not spies, not soldiers, tourists. But knowing where to land was only half the battle. The Allies still needed Germany looking somewhere else. Number 9. The army that never existed. The Allies knew Germany expected an invasion. The question was where. German commanders believed the most likely target was Pas de Calais, the shortest crossing from Britain. Instead of correcting that assumption, the Allies reinforced it. Operation Fortitude created an entire fake army in southeast England. Inflatable tanks appeared in fields, wooden aircraft sat on fake runways, dummy landing craft filled ports. Radio operators generated fake military traffic. Double agents fed false reports to Berlin. Even General George Patton was used as part of the deception. Germany watched everything. Germany believed everything. The deception worked so well that even after Allied troops landed in Normandy, many German commanders still expected the real invasion to come later. Thousands of German troops remained near Calais, waiting for an attack that never happened. The biggest deception operation of the war had succeeded, and yet the entire invasion nearly collapsed because of something nobody could control. The weather. Number 8. The forecast that changed history. Operation Overlord required specific conditions: a full moon, favorable tides, enough daylight. Only a few days each month worked. June 5th was chosen. Then storms hit the English Channel. Massive waves threatened landing craft. Strong winds endangered airborne operations. General Eisenhower faced a terrible choice: delay, cancel, or proceed. British meteorologist James Stagg studied the weather systems. He predicted a short break in the storm on June 6th. Not perfect weather, just good enough. Eisenhower accepted the risk. The invasion was delayed 24 hours. That decision may have saved the operation. Ironically, the same forecast that helped the Allies hurt Germany. Number 7. Rommel's birthday trip. Field Marshal Erwin Rommel commanded Germany's defenses in Normandy. He believed the invasion must be stopped on the beaches. If Allied troops broke through, Germany would struggle to push them back. Then he looked at the weather. The channel was rough, the skies were poor, an invasion seemed impossible. Rommel returned home to Germany. His wife was celebrating her 50th birthday. He planned to give her a pair of shoes. Then D-Day began. One of Germany's most capable commanders wasn't even in Normandy. But Rommel wasn't the only missing leader. The next one was even more important. Number 6. Hitler slept through D-Day. As Allied troops landed, Adolf Hitler was asleep. German commanders urgently requested armored reinforcements. There was a problem. Hitler personally controlled many key armored divisions. Nobody wanted to wake him. Hours passed. German forces waited. The Allies advanced. When Hitler finally woke later that morning, he wasn't alarmed. He believed Normandy was a diversion. He thought the main invasion would still strike Calais. Operation Fortitude was still fooling Germany, even on D-Day itself. Meanwhile, American soldiers were facing the deadliest beach of the entire invasion. Secret number 5. Bloody Omaha. 5 beaches formed the invasion front: Utah, Omaha, gold, Juno soared. Omaha became a nightmare. Machine guns dominated the shoreline. Artillery covered the approaches. Landing craft drifted off course. Many soldiers drowned before reaching the beach. Others died seconds after the ramps dropped. Around 4,000 Americans were killed, wounded, or missing. One first-wave unit lost roughly 90% of its men. For several hours, failure seemed possible. Yet small groups fought forward, destroyed bunkers, scaled cliffs, opened routes inland. Omaha survived, barely. And Omaha was only one piece of a much larger operation. Number 4. The Forgotten International Army. By 1944, more than 2 million Allied personnel were stationed in Britain preparing for the invasion. The force came from more than a dozen nations. Americans formed the largest single contingent, but British and Canadian forces combined were even larger. Of the 156,000 troops who landed on D-Day, about 73,000 were American. About 83,000 were British or Canadian. Polish, French, Norwegian, Dutch, Belgian, Czech, Greek, Australian, and New Zealand personnel also contributed. This wasn't one nation's invasion. It was a coalition invasion, and keeping that many people silent was almost impossible. Secret number 3, the pub test. Lieutenant Colonel Terence Otway had a problem. His men were preparing for a highly classified mission. He needed to know if they could keep secrets, so he conducted a test. 30 members of the Women's Auxiliary Air Force entered local pubs near training areas. Their mission was simple: get soldiers talking, learn what they knew. None of the soldiers revealed anything important. The invasion remained secret. That discipline mattered, because surprise remained the Allies' that most powerful weapon. Secret number 2, the battle didn't end on D-Day. Many people think D-Day won the war. It didn't. It opened the door. The Battle of Normandy followed, and it was brutal. Casualty rates during parts of the campaign rivaled the worst fighting of World War I. Fields, villages, hedgerows. Every mile had to be fought for. Thousands more would die after the beaches were secured. Which brings us to the final secret, the strangest one of all. Secret number 1, victory came from dozens of tiny events. People often search for one reason D-Day succeeded. There wasn't one. Millions of photographs, a fake army, inflatable tanks, double agents, a weather forecast, Rommel's birthday trip, Hitler sleeping, disciplined soldiers, courage at Omaha Beach. Each factor mattered. Remove any one of them, and history might look very different. By the end of June 6th, the Allies had secured a foothold in France. Less than a year later, Nazi Germany surrendered. D-Day wasn't inevitable. It worked because dozens of things that could have gone wrong didn't.